Hey everyone, my name is Tanner.
And I'm Mel. Welcome to Dinner Bell's Kitchen.
Today we are doing everything pork.
All the pork.
First thing, we're going to start out with a little appetizer. We've got bacon burnt ends from pork belly. And then we're going to go on over to our pork spare ribs. And then we're going to finish it off for something later on down the road. And I'm going to turn the pork leftovers and some vegetables into a pork stock. So we started this this morning around 10. Like I said, it's a really cold day. This steel's very thick and it stays cold for a long time. So we want to kind of get ahead of it. But usually it depends on the weather. It could be from 45 minutes to an hour. Today, we took 2 hours in order to get it rolling.
All right, so today we're gonna use a St. Louis style pork rib. What we like to do before we get the seasoning on the ribs is pull away the membrane. What this allows is for the smoke to really get into the meat and break it down, but even better, it makes it more tender. So Tanner's gonna take a paper towel. That really allows him to grip and pull away from the bone so that, again, we're gonna get that really meaty, tender flavor that from the smoke and the seasonings. Without pulling away that membrane, you're really not gonna be able to achieve that flavor.
I wanna come in here and I wanna take out some of these little jagged edges and little leftover kind of pieces here. They have the tendency when you put on
little busted pieces.
Those little busted pieces that they can get on the grill and they start to overcook and burn and whatnot, and it kind of just makes it a little bit more appealing to the eye. Also, we've got these little cartilage pieces and tendons and whatnot that are a part of it, a part of the meat, but they're not a part of like the actual rib bone or anything like that. So we kind of cut those out of it, and yeah, it makes for a really nice tasting, succulent treat.
Succulent, really? That's the only word you could think of.
Better than melty. Here we've got our cracked black pepper. We've got Himalayan sea salt. We've got a little concoction here of paprika, crushed red pepper, and some cayenne for a little added heat. We've got some granulated garlic with some ground mustard, brown sugar for some more sweetness, and to kind of finish it off, something that's kind of a cool little new spice that's on the market is granulated honey. And this little bad boy right here is a combination of apple cider vinegar and some granulated honey. Mix that together. This is going to be kind of like a mop sauce for the ribs here in about 2 hours or so. We'll mop that on, let it smoke a little bit more, and then we'll do our wrap.
I'm gonna go ahead and get in here with my hands, break up this brown sugar. I don't know if Tanner was getting after it with a fork and a spoon, but sometimes you just gotta get your hands dirty. That being said, food safety. We are wearing gloves, folks. All right, now we got that nice grainy texture, making sure that we don't get too sweet in some spots and not in the other. Now I think we're ready to go ahead and start rubbing down our meats. Just go ahead and take a handful here. You can always add more, never take away, so I like to just go ahead and kind of start. I want to make sure you're pressing that into that meat. Nice and seasoned. Love a good dry rub on ribs.
Now really there's no specific wood that you can use. Today we're using post oak, but I've used apple, cherry, oak, pecan. I like the post oak. I think it gives off a very sweet, savory type of smoke, if smoke can be sweet and savory. But I enjoy it. It burns nice. We may actually at the end finish it with hickory, but I'll think about that a little bit more. Now the fun part. Now we got to get it on the grill. Typically, I like to cook it around 250 to 275. We'll do that for about 2.5 to 3 hours. We'll kind of check it throughout. It's a cold day out today, so there's going to be a lot of other variable factors. But this is the fun part. We are getting the ribs on the grill. So here we go. So as we do this, here in about 2.5 hours or so, I've got to rub a basting sauce that I'm actually going to put on there in order to keep some of the moisture in, and then we'll cook that oven for a little bit, and then we'll wrap it and call it a day. So we got these bacon burn ends. I'm gonna put these towards the front of the grill. They're gonna cook a little bit faster, I'd say, than the ribs themselves. And then we are going to braise them once they get all cooked. Here we go. I'm gonna spread it out here a little bit just so that they're not on top of each other, and so they can get a full cook and full smoke around them. These are gonna go on for about 3 hours, and then, like I said, we will braise them afterwards, and we're gonna braise them in a homemade barbecue sauce that we created, as well, a little bit of butter, and
get that nice caramelized taste on those. They're gonna be nice and chewy, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. Deliciousness.
Well said.
All the sauce. Mmm. So now, do we need to turn those, toss those? All right, I think we're at temp.
Perfect. We're ready to roll. We've been going for about 2 hours and 45 minutes from a range of temperature from about 270 to 285, and it's time to pull them off, wrap them in foil, finish them for the next hour 15.
Now the reason we're wrapping them is because they're actually not what we would consider fully done yet. This is all part of the cooking process. When we wrap them, what it does is it locks in the moisture.
Yeah, boy. So I pull out this next one. Yeah, we're looking good. We've got a nice little bend and flex. We're getting a little bit of pullback from the bone, but we're going to see a lot more pullback from the bone and meat recession here after we wrap it.
I like it. I like what I'm seeing.
So we're ready to go. Pork belly is ready, and we're gonna pull it off, and we got ourselves a nice little buttery melted appetizer.
What this is a snack, a little pork snack. Oh my. All right, so now what we're gonna do, now that we've wrapped the pork ribs, we're gonna go ahead and put them back in. This is all, like I said, part of the cooking process. Go ahead and get an extra piece of foil. An extra piece of foil on this one here. Make sure it's fully wrapped so we're locking in that moisture. Tanner's gonna go ahead and throw those back on. How long are these gonna go on for?
You know, we're looking probably an hour and a half. We're just gonna kind of play it by ear.
Do you have the same kind of smoke rolling?
Yeah.
Have you adjusted your fire at all?
Nope, we're not changing the process at all. We're trying to just keep it at that 250 to 275 degree temperature. Now that we're wrapped here, if it starts to heat up a little bit and we get a little bit too much fuel on, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but we'll just keep an eye on it.
In the meantime, we'll eat on pork snacks. So then what you gotta do is you gotta turn it up. Make sure you get it good. Pork broth facial.
Pork steam.
Got it from there? Yeah, really.